What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to some more World of Warships action, where today we are going to be taking a look at a replay sent in to me by Joe, we'll just call him Joe, in the North Carolina. This is the team composition. You can see the enemy has a North Carolina and a Colorado as well. Couple of tier 8 cruisers on his team, 3 on the enemy team. His team then also has a Pensacola as well as a Benson, that Polish destroyer, and then a Fubuki and a Sims. Now, I'm not sure if this was a ranked battle or not. Only 7 players on each team, so it could be. But you'll see what I mean when we get to the screenshots. They were just taken with his phone. So can't see anything over there that mentions it was ranked. Maybe this was just at a really weird time on the server and the population for these tiers was quite low. But anyways, we are on Island of Ice. And the team seems to be making a strong push towards B. Considering there's only A and B, it might very well be ranked. But anyways, they're moving together and making a strong push towards B. There is a destroyer, enemy destroyer, as well as a friendly destroyer in the B capture zone. So right now, no one is capping the point. Enemy North Carolina has been spotted at 21 kilometers. He launches his scout plane and takes a shot with the front 2 guns. And there goes the rear gun. Again, a bit of a replay bug there, I think. Looked like he was giving so much lead you couldn't even see the target. And again, the North Carolinas, I think maybe that time he had just stopped. There's the Colorado at 21.4, takes the lead, fires off the front 2 guns. Both Allied destroyers are now in the cap zone. Still only 1 enemy destroyer spotted. Shells going in on the Colorado. Looks like a pretty good shot. 2 hits for 1300 damage though, and firing off the rear gun as well. Torpedoes going in from the Allied, one of the Allied destroyers. There's the Admiral Hipper, who has just collided with the North Carolina. I probably would have tried to take a stab at the North Carolina there because he's obviously now stationary. But then those are also my most hated shots to try and take. Simply because whenever I get an opportunity like that, RNG just completely screws me over. Guy will be sitting perfectly still, I'll aim at the waterline, and 80% of my shots will either go over or land in the water most of the time. Possibly replay bug again. Colorado is sitting still. And there he's now warped forward. I don't know why so many of the replays are doing this at the moment. Never used to be that much of a problem. There comes a warp by the Admiral Hipper. Some more shots on the way on the Colorado, I believe. No one's lost any ships yet, although the Sims has taken some fairly significant damage. And there again, also the Megami sitting still. So this replay does seem to be a particularly bad one when it comes to this particular replay bug. More shots going in on the Colorado. I can't believe the Megami has actually stopped there. Single hit, no damage. Admiral Hipper time. He looks like he's about to turn and present a nice broadside, so front gun's firing. Torpedoes going in towards the Pensacola, who appears to take a hit. And I do apologize about these problems because there the camera like froze. But I have seen the results, and this is definitely a game worth showing. I just wish the replay would cooperate. Hipper now less than 13 kilometers, which is a very bad position for any cruiser to be when a battleship is this close. He is slowing down, firing a full salvo, shots going in. How's the grouping looking? Lead could have maybe... No, the lead's looking good, but RNG says no, and only a single hit. Rather unfortunate. Looks like he's going to maintain his fire on the Hipper, which is a very viable strategy because he is so close now. He'll have little to no time to react and hopefully at this range RNG will be decent to him. And the dispersion's looking good on that one. 2 hits in a Citadel for 23,000 damage. That's his first really good salvo of the game. Colorado is now at 9.9. Have to be a little bit careful with those Colorados. They are definitely more brawling battleships than, say, a North Carolina is, in my opinion. In fact, I had a game last night because I'm desperately trying to get another video on Iowa, but I just can't seem to make that ship work anymore. I had a Colorado at 15 kilometers or so. Here's the Hipper. Replay bug. He's lagging again, firing a full salvo. And 3 hits, and he finishes it off and gets the kill. But yeah, the Colorado was sailing perfectly parallel to me, or at least in a straight line, broadside onto me. I wasn't giving him my broadside. And slow speed, not varying his speed, not varying his course. And RNG was just screwing me big time. Salvo after salvo after salvo straight into the middle of his ship at the waterline, and getting most of my salvos for less than 8,000 damage. 2 hits on the North Carolina. Didn't get to see how much damage it did there. Colorado's got some torpedoes coming in, and unfortunately the turn he is making is going to cause him to take 2. Another hit onto the Colorado, 4,000 damage. His team is down a ship. They've lost 2 cruisers and a destroyer, whereas the enemy team has only lost a cruiser and a destroyer. And the enemy has also moved in towards A, so they've got both capture points right now. Fire coming in from the Colorado, and there we go, massive, massive hit. It was probably a double Citadel. Returns fire and does an incapacitation. Slightly poor positioning here. But we all do it sometimes. Another salvo going in, 4 hits for only 7,000 damage. Takes another Citadel hit, but now he has got behind the island and at least has some cover, and hopefully he'll be able to get his bow pointed towards the Colorado and deal with him more effectively. Still got more health in the Colorado though, who has now reversing. He's now at a much better angle compared to what he was before. 4 hits for 9,000, and there you can see angling properly, and he bounces all of the shells from the Tier 7 American Battleship. But things are really not looking good for his team. They've now lost their final cruiser, so all that remains is the 2 battleships as well as the destroyer, while the enemy's got significant numbers advantage. Colorado turning to get the rear turrets off, exposing a rather flat broadside, and pays the price for that. He should have just kept reversing at an angle and not tried to get the rear guns on target, because he may have survived. Probably wouldn't have, but at least would have given him a better chance to bounce some of those shells. So let's see, enemy has still got North Carolina, Mogami, Otago, and Fubuki, whereas obviously, as I said, Joe's team's down to his North Carolina, the Colorado, and the Polish thing, which is what I shall refer to it as from now on. Some fairly long-range shots going in on the North Carolina. Is he paying attention? Has he reacted? Didn't really, but ooh, and now torpedoes coming in from a, looked like the cruiser. What's that? The Mogami. 5.5 kilometers. This guy's very brave, and managed to mess up his torpedo volley, or at least mess it up in terms of hitting the North Carolina. He did actually manage to kill the destroyer. So shots going in a little bit high on the Mogami, only doing minimal damage, but getting himself high caliber. Is the Mogami going to go behind the iceberg? No, he's going to run into it and sit still in front of Joe. So, he's currently reversing, so we're going to aim towards the rear of the ship and fire off the front 2 guns. And if this guy doesn't die now, there we go. I would have been extremely surprised. Gets a Citadel, as usual, always getting Citadels when your opponent is on extremely low health, but finishing him off and getting his 3rd kill of the match. So now it is Joe versus the the one remaining battleship, the North Carolina, which has considerably more health than he does, and the Otago at 27 kilometers, as well as that Fubuki shots going in on the North Carolina, who has unfortunately turned. Still managing 2 hits for 4,300 damage, bouncing the return fire. I don't think he took any damage there. But he's got a lot of work ahead of him to whittle down this North Carolina with the amount of hit points he has remaining. Unfortunately, he's still trying to capture B. Those hits from the North Carolina did obviously reset the cap, even if it didn't do any damage directly to Joe. But he's now got a bit of cover, so he can at least finish off the cap, and now at least the teams are even. One has A, and Joe's team has B. So he's going to have to play very smart here. As I said, it's going to be a very tall order to do 4 times as much damage to the North Carolina as their number of hit points he has remaining. Replay bug again rearing its ugly head. North Carolina is lagging. 2 hits, 5,000 damage I think that was, but does take some damage in return. 20 seconds remaining until he can use his repair party and build up some more of his hit points. North Carolina is now broadside onto him, and I'm guessing more replay bugs there because his turrets were pointing somewhere else. There we go. Now they're back. So maybe he was actually looking elsewhere. And very stupid move by this enemy North Carolina, sitting broadside on. Citadel in 2 hits for just shy of 18,000 damage. But Joe isn't entirely completely safe because the North Carolina can actually be citadeled from the front like this. You do have to be very lucky, and RNG really has to bless you, but it is possible. However, it's obviously significantly easier if your opponent's going to sit broadside on. Really nice grouping at the end there, 2 citadels, and he finishes him off. Unfortunately, on fire, Fubuki is really, really close, 5 kilometers away. Torpedoes are no doubt in the water or will be in the water very soon. More replay bugs there. Fubuki's being a little bit... I suppose I understand why he's being so brave, but coming this close to a battleship is just asking for trouble. 5 hits, his 5th kill, and Kraken unleashed. Now all he has to deal with is a Otago at 10 kilometers. 11,000 hit points. 1 citadel will finish him off. He has used his repair party, but it didn't seem to give him a whole lot of health, and camera's spazzing out a little here. Few seconds remaining. Otago begins turning in to avoid the shots, but it doesn't matter. Citadel through the front, and he manages to win the match after being seriously down on numbers. So, very well played. 317,000 credits, 4,300 reputation. I imagine that is Dreadnought, Kraken. I don't actually. High Caliber was one of them. Possibly Confederate, but I didn't actually see it come up. So I'm not entirely sure what all of those medals were. Then 49 target hits, 1 plane shot down, 2 incapacitations, 6 kills, 1 fire, 6 citadels, and captured a base once. Team score he didn't send in, but no doubt he came first place on his team. As for damage done, 166,403 armor piercing damage, 901 from fires, and just shy of 600 from his secondaries. So that's probably about 168,000 damage all in all. So Joe, thank you so very much for sending this in. This was a fantastic match. You managed to recover exceptionally well from your earlier mistake against that Colorado, being broadside on and taking a significant amount of damage. But you fought back, you played well in the end, you conserved your hit points, your health remaining, and you punished the enemy team for their stupid mistakes and managed to win for your team. So, very well done, and I hope you guys all enjoyed watching this. But yeah, that is about it for this video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more World of Warships, Armored Warfare, and a few other things that are thrown into the mix from time to time. But yeah, that is about it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.